The best looking lawn I worked on this year has not been mowed once this season, and that is exactly why it looks better than grass. Most of us were taught that a beautiful garden has to start with grass, and that grass has to be cut every single week. The reality is the opposite. A conventional lawn is one of the most demanding things you can grow. It needs feeding and scarifying and edging and watering just to stay green, and in a hot dry spell it still turns yellow and patchy. Welcome to Timeless Gardening, where we share simple, timeless, and practical ideas to make your garden more beautiful with less work, less cost, and less stress. What if you made a deliberate choice to use something better? There are no-mow alternatives that form a dense low mat, that stay consistently green even when grass turns brown, that never need fertilizing because they feed themselves, and that are genuinely more beautiful because they flower and support wildlife. I am going to show you 7 of them that work in real gardens, from sunny front gardens and small courtyard spaces, to north-facing gardens, shaded urban spaces, and larger gardens where weekly mowing has always felt like unnecessary work. Some are softer underfoot for families with children, some are the most sensory surfaces you can create, and some need mowing exactly once a year. Once you see what is possible, you will understand why the right choice depends only on your conditions, your climate, and the look you are going for. And there is something on this list for almost every garden. Option 1. Creeping thyme. This is the one I recommend most often to anyone who is tired of fighting with grass. And the reason is simple. It does everything grass does, and several things grass will never do. It forms a dense low mat that covers the ground completely, handles light foot traffic with ease, and stays green throughout the season without any mowing at all. In late spring it covers itself in small pink and purple flowers that turn the whole surface into something that looks like a proper garden feature, not just a lawn replacement. When you walk across it you get a soft herbal scent that is a genuine bonus grass will never give you. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, which makes it ideal for those hot dry lawns where grass struggles to stay green and often turns brown. Once established it is drought-tolerant and essentially self-sufficient, so there is no feeding, no scarifying, no edging, and no weekly commitment to mowing. For a sunny front garden, a pathway edge, or a small courtyard space, it is one of the most transformative changes you can make with very little effort and almost no ongoing cost, and it only gets better year after year. In summer it also feeds pollinators, so you will see bees hovering over the flowers in the warmest part of the day. It feels wonderful barefoot, and once the roots knit together it naturally suppresses most weeds without any chemicals at all, which saves so much time and effort through summer. Option 2. White clover lawn. This might be the most underrated change you can make to a garden that is currently just conventional grass, and it works in far more places than most people expect. A pure white clover lawn stays low naturally, rarely pushing past 10 centimeters without any intervention, and it keeps a soft, lush, consistently green appearance through the season, even in dry conditions when grass turns brown and straw-like. As it grows it fixes nitrogen from the air into the soil, which means it literally feeds itself and never needs fertilizing at all. The more you learn about it, the more sense it makes for a modern garden that needs to be practical and beautiful. It flowers continuously through summer with small white blooms that bees find irresistible, so what was once just a flat green surface becomes genuinely wildlife-friendly and full of life. An occasional mow 2 or 3 times a season is enough if you want it neater, but it looks good left entirely alone. For families with children who want a soft green surface to use all summer, it is softer underfoot than most grass varieties and recovers from wear and tear much faster, even with daily use and play in the garden. Children can play on it barefoot without it feeling scratchy, and it stays cool to the touch even on hot afternoons. Over time it also quietly improves the soil around it, so nearby beds and borders grow stronger too, without any extra effort from you at all. Option 3. Chamomile lawn. This is the classic English cottage garden alternative to grass, used in formal and informal gardens for centuries for very good reason, and it still feels incredibly special today. The non-flowering variety called Trenegev is the one most commonly used for lawns because it stays so neat and low. It forms a dense feathery carpet of fine apple-scented foliage that stays low without mowing, and releases its fragrance every time it is brushed or walked on. It is one of the most sensory and evocative surfaces you can create in a garden. There is genuinely nothing quite like it underfoot on a warm evening. It prefers a sunny position with well-drained soil, and does best where you do not have very heavy use, because it is less tolerant of hard wear than clover or thyme, and needs a gentler spot to thrive. In the right place, a sunny relatively light traffic area by a bench or cottage path, it creates a surface that looks and feels completely different from grass in the best possible way. It needs virtually no maintenance beyond an occasional light trim if it starts to look uneven, and it never needs feeding, scarifying, or any of the seasonal interventions that a conventional lawn demands to stay presentable and green. It is perfect around a garden seat where you can brush your hand across it and catch that sweet apple scent. On a calm summer evening after a light trim, the whole corner smells fresh, and you can even pick a few flowers for tea if you like, which is a lovely extra bonus in summer. Option 4. Micro Clover Mix. This is a finer leaved variety of white clover that was specifically developed for use in lawns, either as a standalone surface or mixed with grass seed to improve an existing lawn, and it solves a very common concern for tidy gardeners. The leaves are significantly smaller than standard clover, which gives it a texture that is much closer to conventional grass and blends seamlessly into mixed lawn situations without looking patchy or coarse. It stays lower, spreads more evenly, and keeps all the same benefits in terms of nitrogen fixing, drought tolerance, and low maintenance requirements that make clover so valuable. For gardeners who love the idea of a clover lawn but find the standard variety a little coarse and informal looking, micro clover is the perfect answer. It produces a surface that from a short distance is almost indistinguishable from a fine grass lawn, but it requires a fraction of the maintenance, never needs feeding, and stays noticeably greener through dry spells when everything else fades. It is increasingly available as a ready-to-sow product from garden centers and online suppliers, which makes establishing it straightforward, even for beginners starting their first no-mow project. Many gardeners overseed it at about 20% clover to 80% grass to get that familiar lawn look with all the benefits. Once it fills in, it shades out weeds, so you spend less time pulling and more time enjoying the garden itself, which is the whole point of this swap. Option 5. Moss Lawn. This is having a significant moment right now in garden design, and once you understand why, it is easy to see the appeal for the right kind of space. A well-established moss lawn in the right conditions is one of the most velvety, lush, and visually satisfying surfaces you can have in any garden. It is deep green year-round, requires zero mowing, zero feeding, and zero watering once established, and it creates an atmosphere of calm and age that grass simply cannot replicate, no matter how much you feed it. The Japanese have used moss as a primary ground surface for centuries, and the aesthetic they achieve is genuinely beautiful and timeless, in both small and large gardens. The key requirement is shade and consistent moisture to thrive and spread well. Moss does not work in a hot, dry, sunny position, but for north-facing gardens, shaded urban spaces, or the areas under established trees where grass has always been a constant battle, a moss lawn is a revelation. You are not fighting the conditions anymore, you are working with them and getting something truly lovely in return. Establishing it can be as simple as encouraging the moss that is already trying to grow naturally in your garden. You will not need to rake leaves aggressively, just lift them gently so the moss is not smothered, and avoid lime because moss prefers slightly acidic conditions. It feels soft and silent underfoot, like a natural carpet that makes the space feel calm and private every single day. Option 6. Native Wildflower Meadow. This one requires mowing exactly once a year in late summer after the flowers have set seed, and for the other 11 months the result is one of the most spectacular things you can have in a garden of any size. From May through to August, a properly established wildflower meadow is alive with color, movement, and wildlife in a way that a conventional lawn never will be. Bees, butterflies, beetles, and birds all use it daily, and it looks completely different week to week as different species come into flower and fade, so you never get bored of it. It is a living thing in a way a mown grass lawn simply is not, and that is what makes it so special to watch through the seasons. Establishing a meadow from scratch takes a little patience at the start. The first year is mostly about getting the right low fertility conditions in place, as wildflowers prefer poor soil where grass does not dominate and take over everything. But from year 2 onwards, a well-established meadow largely looks after itself, self-seeding and expanding naturally year on year without intervention. For a larger garden with an area that has always felt like it needed something more interesting than mowing every week, converting it to a wildflower meadow is one of the most rewarding and low-effort decisions you can make. When you do cut it in late summer, leave the cuttings for a few days so seeds drop back into the soil before you clear them. That one simple step helps it thicken naturally, so each year the color gets richer and more butterflies return. Option 7. Dichondra. This is the least well-known option on this list, but it deserves far more attention than it currently gets from home gardeners looking for something truly different. It produces a carpet of small rounded leaves shaped like tiny lily pads that sit so close together and so evenly that the resulting surface looks almost like a putting green in terms of uniformity and density from the path. The color is a rich deep green that stays consistent through the season, and the texture from up close is genuinely unlike anything else available as a lawn alternative today. It is one of those plants that makes people stop and ask what it is when they see it for the first time. It grows best in warm climates and full sun to partial shade, making it well suited to gardens in the southern US and warmer parts of the UK where other covers struggle with heat. It is low-growing enough that mowing is either unnecessary or needed only occasionally to keep it at its tidiest and most even. It handles moderate foot traffic reasonably well, and recovers at a steady pace after use. For a small defined lawn area, in a warm sunny garden where you want something that looks truly exceptional with minimal effort, it is one of the most impressive alternatives and one that very few people are using yet. It edges beautifully against stone or brick, so you can define a small lawn without any plastic edging at all. In a sunny courtyard it stays neat with just a quick hand trim, and it keeps that deep green look even when nearby grass starts to fade. There you have it, a different way to think about what a lawn can be. When you stop trying to force grass where it does not want to grow, gardening becomes lighter and more enjoyable. Your garden begins to feel like it belongs to its place, and you get to enjoy the beauty without the weekly battle. Tell me in the comments which ground cover you are most tempted to try in your own garden. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Timeless Gardening for more simple ideas that make your garden more beautiful with less work, and I will see you in the next one.